Hey, welcome back, comic fans. It's Mr. Q Comics back with some more show and tell. Today I have got a box full of CGC books that I got back within the past 2 or 3 months. It is actually two separate submissions, and I'm combining into one video in the interest of time. So before we dive into the books, guys, if you're a fan of haul videos, please go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about these books and how I did. So, all right, with that said, guys, like I said, it is two separate submissions. The first submission was fine, but I had submitted a lot of duplicates, a lot of dollar books that I wasn't really sure what kind of grades I'd get, and it was nothing too crazy. So I just picked out a handful that I wanted to highlight. The second submission was really an exciting one. I got a lot of better grades than I expected, let's say. So with that said, let's just jump right into the books. First book I'm going to show off here, we have got Iron Man number 170. This is the first full appearance of James Rhodes as Iron Man. Came back a 9.6, which I'm pretty happy with. I submitted this one just kind of in the interest with the Armor Wars show that, oh, I can't remember that slated for. I assume it is 2023, maybe 2024. I can't remember. I really don't keep up with all of the, up to the minute news on the MCU. So in a 9.6, and I checked these prices before I shot this. So I'm shooting this as of October 1st of 2022. So looking at kind of eBay and GPA, looks like 9.6s are going for about 150 bucks. 9.8s you may get about 300, and this was a dollar bin fine for me. So doing pretty good on that for a buck. Next we got a book that, man, I'm just always amazed. I avoid DC for the kind of spec and flip stuff. Honestly, it just does not do nearly as well as Marvel stuff. But we have a copy of Green Lantern number 48. And again, I'm not a huge DC guy, so this is the first appearance of, I believe this is the first Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. It doesn't say it on the label, but I think that's what it's typically considered. This was again, I think I picked this up for like $4. And in a 9.8, it is going for, I think it's going for about only $100, which was surprising to me. I thought this went for more. So, all right, next book here. Oh, I'm kind of out of order with what I wanted to show off. Let's see if I can find, there it is. All right, next one. This book was hot with before the Eternals came out. I think it's still doing pretty good. I found a couple of these, actually. I got two of them back. But we have got the Black Knight number 1. This is a newsstand copy from 1990. So this is just his first solo series. This thing spiked before the Eternals, I believe. It still does pretty good. I think it's still going for about 175 bucks, 150, 175. It depends on the day, of course, but still pretty solid in a 9.8. And I think I got two of these for like $7, and I was just slow to get these things submitted, but still pretty happy with that. You'll see everyone advertising the newsstand one, but I swear I see more newsstand copies of this than the direct edition. So I really don't know the actual numbers, but just a gut feeling. All right, this was a cool one. This I picked up when all of the DC milestone stuff was getting hot. I can't remember when that was, probably 2 years ago now. You know, the static and all of that. I found this. It's a copy of Hardware number 1, but it is the Platinum edition, and it was in pristine shape. I paid up more than I typically would pay for a spec book, right? I bought this for $18. I probably showed this off in a haul video a year or so ago when I picked it up, but I knew it was really a really sharp copy, and I bought it. I paid that price with the intent to submit it and hope for the 9.8, which I did get the 9.8 on. So happy with that. Last GPA on this was about $200. May of 2022. So it's not a book that sells a lot, but again, I bought it just to get a copy of the 9.8. I don't really know what's going on with this series. I think they just re-released a lot of the titles, and that's what kind of drove it up. But still, always nice to have a 9.8. In the Platinum edition, I had never seen. I come across the standard version quite a bit. All right, another one that I had got for the Armor Wars series, we have got Iron Man 281. This is noted as the first appearance of War Machine armor and cameo on the last page. It's from 1992. This does not go for a ton right now, but again, I thought it might pick up with the Armor Wars. I think I picked this thing up for like $8. And it was a nice copy, so happy with the 9.8, which right now think it's going for about $100, so not too bad. Next one, we got another one. Just late to the party on. Just did not get my act together and submit these in time. I found a couple of these. This was the best one I found. But we have got a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 101. This is that second printing. They did this with a few issues where they kind of did the silver one in the 90s. I know they did it with Amazing Spider-Man 265, I think, the first Silver Sable. So this was $1, been fine for me. Very happy to get the 9.8, which I thought it would be. Still goes for about $150 in a 9.8. So I'm happy with that. And then from that first haul, the big boy book, the one I am keeping. Absolutely a book that I love. And you guys, I am sure everyone else loves this as well. Very happy to buy a raw copy, submit it, and get a 9.8 because I've never got more than a 9.6. But I got back a copy of Secret Wars number 8 in the 9.8. Super excited. Had no clue I was going to get a 9. Really was expecting like a 9.4 or 9.6. And my comic shop that had submitted this one for me, he kind of let it slip. You know, oh, hey, you got a 9.8 on that Secret Wars. Like, what? You don't spoil it for me. But super happy to get that back. This is still, I think that the 12-month GPA average is about $765, which is still double the 2020 average. And I think I got this on eBay for like $78. So it's just always exciting to buy a book raw, excuse me, submit it and get it back in a 9.8, especially when it's one you want in the PC. And this is one of those books I've always wanted to have in a 9.8 and keep it in the personal collection, which there's only a few books that I really care about having in a 9.8 and a slab, and this is one of them. So very stoked to get that back. All right, so here we go. This is the next batch. I did not do a full 25 books on this one. I submitted this one myself because I had my CGC credits I had to use up for the membership. I actually pressed a handful of these myself, so it was kind of like an experimentation. And I didn't want to do too many because I wasn't sure how they'd come out. But we will dive in to start with another Secret Wars. We'll pick up with the Secret Wars series. We got number 3. This is the first appearance of Volcana and the second Titania, I think. So this was hot for a while due to She-Hulk, and I think this thing has totally cooled off. I honestly have not watched any of the She-Hulk series, so I don't know if she pops up in it or not. Pretty sure she does, but this book is really cooled off. I had a bunch of these. I think I got them all for, this was $1.50 I think I paid. So this thing is maybe a $50 book. You can maybe get $150 to $200 if you got it in a 9.8, but I think there's just a lot of these out there as well. So still okay for $1.50. I can still dump that thing cheap and be just fine. So, but I was hoping obviously for the 9.8, which I think I submitted 2 or 3 of those and just keep getting 9.6s. So. All right, this is a cool one here. We got Secret Wars number 7 that did come back, a 9.8. First appearance of the new Spider-Woman, Julia Carpenter. I mean, I think I've seen the teaser for the Madam Web movie. I'm not sure what this thing will do, if it'll pick up at all, as more trailers come out. But this is right now going for about $250 in the 9.8. I think I picked this one up raw for about $12, $13. So definitely a good buy there. I was just really surprised. A lot of these, I was not expecting 9.8s. I was hopeful. You're always hopeful for the 9.8s, but really happy with a lot of these grades here. So next we got, this is just a pure spec one for me. We got Miles Morales number 6. First full appearance of Starling. I think I bought 2 or 3 of these off the rack. Never read them, just bought them for spec purposes. So I don't know what this is going for now. I think it's about $150 book, but I see this kind of, pop up on Instagram here or there, or top 10 lists here or there. So any of that stuff with Miles, that's got a first appearance, it just feels like if you can get him in a 9.8, if you can get him cheap and turn him into 9.8s, it's worthwhile. I personally wouldn't be buying those books slab, paying the $150 or whatever, but if I can get them for a few bucks and get it slabbed and it come back in 9.8, that's worthwhile for me. Another spec one here. We got Silk number 1, which I know I showed these off when I bought them raw. I got 2 copies of these. Again, they were sharp copies, so I paid up a little more than I'm comfortable with, but I paid like $13, which it's not a bad price. But right now in the 9.8, this is about $100 book, so I figured at some point, Silk is probably going to show up in some sort of MCU or Disney Plus project, and people go crazy. Surprised ASM #4, the first full appearance. That thing seems like it has cooled off considerably. That used to be super expensive in a 9.8, but I'm pretty sure that thing has cooled. I suspect once, someone drops a mention of anything Silk related, potentially, you'll get a nice little bump again. Another one of the few DC books I submitted. I definitely submitted at the wrong time, but, sometimes I tuck these things away and forget that I have them. But this is a really sharp copy I had found raw in the dollar bins years ago, and I finally got around to submitting it. We got Superboy #9. First full appearance of King Shark. Came back in a 9.8, which right now is only about a $100 book. So, obviously, should have submitted this and sold it off before Suicide Squad 2. But like I said, I don't do this full time. This is just a part-time thing I do. So I totally dropped the ball doing that. But for a buck, that's okay. Another book here I have shown off a lot. I find it in dollar bins a lot, and it does go for pretty decent money. This is Super Villain Classics #1 from 1983. Galactus, The Origin. So this one right now in a 9.6, about a $100 book. I don't know what a 9.8 goes for, but I feel like it's in the $250 to $300 range. So keep an eye out for this one. This is one of those books I'll find in like antique stores, tucked in their stacks of cheap books. So I have found this a ton in dollar bins. Never in this. This is the best one I found. So I took a shot at it and can't complain with a 9.6. Next, we have got another one that, submitting at the wrong time, but still a pretty decent book. I had got these, I think I got 2 or 3 of these super crisp copies raw many years ago and tucked them away. We got Amazing Spider-Man 362, the second appearance of Carnage. I bought these at the time because they're newsstand copies. I think I paid about $12 a piece. I think there were 3 of them, and they were just pristine. So I think I sold the other ones raw. I didn't want to get them all slab, but happy this one came back a 9.8. Again, this one still goes for pretty decent money, over $200 I'm seeing for sold listings on eBay, just because it's a newsstand and it's a book from the 90s. So, and it's a cool cover. I'm not a huge Mark Bagley fan, but I do dig the way he did Carnage. All right, I think we're about halfway through, so we're kind of getting into the better books in my opinion. This is just a cover I've always loved from Spidey. We got Amazing Spider-Man 289. This one got some of the Newton rings going on. This is Ned Leeds revealed as the Hobgoblin. First appearance of the new Hobgoblin, which was Jack-o'-lantern at the time. Just an awesome green cover from 87 from Tom Morgan. And what does this go for? About $200 in a 9.8. So it's a little weird because I saw in 2022 a high of 307 on GPA and a low of 129, which just happened in August. So pretty solid book. Again, I've always loved the cover, and I had got a couple really nice copies raw, so I took a shot at sending one in. Very happy with that. I definitely have that in my collection, but to me, books like this, I don't care about having raw. I love it. If I can get a pretty solid near mint copy in my PC for my Spider-Man run, I am happy with that. So, I just like selling off the 9.8s. I can't resist some of the premiums that some of these 9.8s command, honestly. Another killer book, I found a couple of really sharp copies of this one. This is an awesome McFarlane cover from his ASM run. Excuse me. We've got Amazing Spider-Man #312. This is that awesome Green Goblin and Hobgoblin cover. I think I won this on Whatnot and probably showed it off in another haul video for like $17. And I was just buying up a bunch of the McFarlane covers from a local shop that had some really nice copies. So I've got 2 or 3 that are really sharp. And happy this one came back in 9.8. This one will definitely be going up for sale. I've got a really nice copy raw in my collection. So a 9.8 direct is about $200 book. If you can find it in a newsstand and get that 9.8, it is going for about $400, which is pretty nice for a non-key issue. All right, this is probably the next one. Probably the lone disappointment. I can't be too disappointed. I was really hopeful this one would come back in 9.8. Again, probably show this off in another haul video. I bought it from a local dealer. Doesn't own a shop. He just does local shows and honestly does like kind of like farm shows, things like that, like your state fairs with comics and card shows, things like that. So I found a really nice copy of this. I thought it was really crisp, so I picked it up for $40. Amazing Spider-Man 299. We've got that first appearance of Venom on the last page. Came back a 9.6. I was hoping for the 9.8, but you know, still at $40, this is still a $200 book. I don't know what this goes for in a 9.8, but the 9.6 was going for a lot more. In 2021, I was looking up sales over $300 for this book, but still can't really complain about a 9.6. They can't all be 9.8s, and I think I got some really friendly grading on some of the other books, so cannot complain on that at all. All right, we got the last stack here. 8-9 books, I think. All right, we got another copy of, this is Wolverine #1. The first full series, first Wolverine is Patch. This one came back a 9.6. I wasn't expecting a 9.8 on this. I've been fortunate in the past and gotten a couple 9.8s back. This one I paid $63 for. I think I won it on eBay. So got a little bit of a miscut, but still a 9.6 on this book. I'm not sure what this is doing actually right now. I looked it up, and GPA was showing $158 90-day average on this. I don't know what sales have been in the past week. Of course, we're coming off the news for Deadpool 3 with Wolverine showing up in that movie, so I'm expecting that this book has popped a little bit. I mean, the Wolverine 88 book is insane. That thing has been going for like $100+, which I'm kind of kicking myself. I sold off a bunch of newsstand copies this year, you know, for far less than that, but, you know, what are you going to do? So I don't know what a 9.6 is going for right now. I do have a 9.8, I think, up on my comic shop, so we will see what that will do. All right, here's another cool book. I've got this. Oh, can't get that one back in the bag there. All right, we've got a copy of, again, I maybe showed this off in a haul video, Hulk 271. First comic book appearance of Rocket Raccoon. This one I was super happy with. I didn't think this was going to get higher than an 8 or an 8.5, so, you know, really happy I submitted this. This was one I was not going to submit because I didn't think it was high grade, but I was really curious. It's got these little chips off of the corner. If you can, you probably can't see it. One there and one on the top. So I didn't think it was going to get into the 9s, but man, it came back a 9.0, white pages. I am definitely happy with that. I did pay up for this. I won this on eBay for $111. I had bought it, you know, with the intent of slabbing it. Then when I got it, saw the chips, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to send it in, but happy I did. GPA shows about a $250 90-day average on that book. So I suspect this one will also get spiked when Guardians 3, when we start seeing more on that. I have no idea when that is slated for, but I believe High Evolutionary is supposed to be in that, so I assume that's going to tie into Rocket Raccoon's origin, and we may see that one pick up a little bit. All right, more Armor Wars stuff. This was one I had picked up in a collection when I first got back into collecting in 2015. This is Iron Man 282. This is the first full appearance of the War Machine. It's his first full appearance of War Machine. I don't know if it's just the armor or not. But like I said, I got this in a collection, so it was like less than $1 when I bought it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to submit it. It's got a bunch of little spine ticks. That's why it only came back a 9.4, but it's a newsstand copy, and I just kind of wanted to see what a pressing would do and how high a grade it would come back. I was really happy. I thought a 9.0, 9.2, so I was surprised with the 9.4. I thought that was a really generous grade on this. Not a huge book, but about $135 and on 90-day GPA average on that. All right, next two, was really happy on these. I have a ton of these. I don't know. I broke my 3-book rule on this for sure, but I always find them really affordably. This is a book when I got back into the hobby in 2015 that was really expensive and has really cooled off. I think it's a great book to be buying up now in high grade because it just seems to be really undervalued for a, you know, I guess, yeah, I think it's, yeah, Copper Age key here. But we got X Factor #6, first full appearance of Apocalypse. This one came back in 9.6. man, I have not paid more than like $30 for any of my raw copies of this. This one, the 9.6, I think I got this on an eBay lot where it worked out to like $3 a pop. So 90-day average on a 9.6 on this book, direct edition, is about $162. I was really happy with that. Again, this has also got a tiny little corner chip, which I think may be an issue with this book. I've seen multiple issues where the lower corner is just chipped off, which I think is just a production thing with that print run where you had a bunch just lost that corner. So just something to note. I don't know if that's true or not. Someone can hopefully comment on that below. It just seems to be a defect I have seen on many of the raw copies I got. And then I did submit one more, and man, I was really surprised to get the 9.8 back on this. Very happy with that. Again, same book, X Factor number 6, and a 9.8. The 90-day average on this is only $493, which is crazy to say only $493, but the comic market is still, you know, a lot of it's cooling off, but compared to prices in 2020 pre-pandemic, I mean, it's still mind-boggling, honestly. So, but to me, compared to what other books are doing, I am surprised this book is as low as it is. But you know, very happy to get it back in the 9.8. I feel like Apocalypse at some point, man, if they do bring the X-Men into the MCU, which we know they are, you would think something would have to happen with him again. But all right, last 4 books here. This next one, I did not even press this. I found this way back, probably 2016, 2017, completely loose in a dollar bin. Back then, it was hot. It was heating up, but it was maybe a $20 book. I don't even know that this thing was in a bag or a board, but we got Young Avengers #1. I did nothing to that book and got lucky with the 9.8. I mean, it's one of those really thick cardstock, and I wasn't going to attempt to press it. I didn't see how it was worth it, so I just took a shot. Like, you know what? I paid $1. Let's see what I get. So, really happy to get a 9.8 on that. It's the director's cut, so it doesn't command as much, but still about a $327 90-day average on that book. So, man, always happy if you're going to not press a book and still get the 9.8. Next book, I know I showed this off in a haul video. This one I did clean and press myself. I was a little concerned because I still get a little of that rippling when I press books, but I have come to realize CGC does not seem to care about that. But we have got Edge of Spider-Verse #2. First appearance of Gwen, Spider-Gwen here, Gwen Stacy as the new Spider-Woman. This is the 3rd printing design variant. I think I picked this up raw from a comic show for $64. So very happy with the 9.8. And what I'm talking about is this, it kind of has like a light waviness to it. And I've noticed this on a number of books that when I press them, that they come out and after they sit for a day or so, they'll get that slight waviness back to them. And I thought for sure that that was a downgrade, but I have multiple books that have come back 9.8s and they have them in the case. And I feel like some of them go in and they don't have it and they sit in the case and then they become wavy. So I don't know. Apparently, it does not affect the grade at all, I guess, especially with modern books, but I see it with some Copper Age stuff too. So it's always driven me nuts when I'm pressing. And, you know, now I know it really doesn't seem to matter that much. So good to know. All right, we are down to the last 2 books here. This is another one. I have another copy of this that I bought off the rack, I believe, but this one I think I picked up on eBay. This is the eBay one I sent in. We got Darth Vader #3, first appearance of Dr. Aphra. Again, this is one I went ahead and cleaned and pressed myself. I did not do, you know, I took kind of the low-hanging fruit when I was doing this for trial purposes, but this again, man, this book was a lot more. The 90-day average on this is about $317 as of the time I'm shooting this. The 2021 average was about $431, so it's down quite a bit, but I feel like everything Star Wars seems to have a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one will potentially spike again. I don't think she's announced for any projects, so the moment she is, the moment there's a whisper, you know this will pop again. But I think I won this raw for $58 on eBay, so definitely a good pickup there. And again, key theme you're going to notice, guys, is I'm buying these things cheap. I am not running out the moment I see something on a top 10 list and buying it. I use those top 10 lists, and I watch them. I watch those videos. I use the Key Collector app, but I typically am using it as a guide for when to sell the books I have purchased. So, excuse me. All right, last book, guys. This one for the PC. Super excited about this. I showed this off when I bought it. I bought this one slabbed, a CBCS 9.0. I bought it from the dealer I buy from all the time. He had a couple of books slabbed, and I could tell him, like, I don't think he got this clean to pressed. He had been exclusively using CBCS. He's had some horror stories with them, so I think he's switching over to CGC. But I bought it at a great price. I think I got it for about, I can't remember what it worked out to. I think I bought this and Star Wars 42 9.0 for $400, both CBCS. But I cracked and cleaned and pressed the Star Wars #1. Again, it was a CBCS 9.0. Got it back as a CGC 9.4, so super happy with the 2-grade bump. I did not do the pressing on that. My comic shop did. But again, I think I paid like whatever it worked out to, $188 for the 9.0 CBCS. Got it cracked and resubmitted it. 90-day average on this is about $588, so definitely did well on that. And I think the 90-day average on a 9.0 right now is about $370. So super happy to get the 9.4 on that. That is definitely a PC copy. Don't think I will maybe one day have a 9.8, but I am more than happy to have a 9.4 in that. So that is it for the haul, guys. Sorry it's a little bit longer than usual, but I hope you guys enjoyed the books. Again, please go down below, leave me some comments, and let me know what you think. See y'all soon.